Hello, everybody. So invites are out to all the classes now. So hopefully in the next couple minutes, everyone will start to be trickling in. Good morning. Sticking to my beard, not going the mustache route myself. Good morning, Carmen. So I only have a few minutes that I want to talk about things myself, and then it's answering whatever questions that you guys have. I'll start with what I want to talk about in like let's say 1 to 2 minutes, and then it's just answering whatever questions that you have. We can chat all about that, Carmen. Is it a specific one, or do you want me to just go over like each week that's coming up? So the social and memory groups posts aren't due to me until Monday. On Monday, I will post their PowerPoint or paper and their individual discussion questions. So for you not in one of those groups, you may not be able to reply to anything until Tuesday, but you'll have from Tuesday to Friday to post replies. But until I get from them and it's not due until Monday, I can't post anything specific on their discussion questions. So the social and memory group, they're going to give me either a PowerPoint or a paper, and thereabouts of 5 total discussion questions. But all that stuff they still have time to work on. And I envision that that's going to be the focus of Monday's live stream as well. Most likely, what's going to happen is I'm probably going to get the info from those groups sometime on Monday. If I get it in the afternoon, you'll have Monday evening, afternoon, evening still to post your replies to their questions. But if I don't get it until like right before midnight, I'll probably, depending on when I get it up, if I'm still awake, I'll post it for you guys before. You probably won't be able to reply to it on Tuesday. And if I end up not being able to stay awake that late, I'll post it on Tuesday morning. All right, guys. So we have 5 here. So I'm going to chat really quickly about this week and then answer any questions that you have for upcoming anything for the semester. By now, I definitely hope that you've looked at the syllabus and you've seen the schedule that's coming up. Um, I'm going to talk about this week, which is the discussion board for memory. Everyone should have posted their main post on that forum by now. That was due last night. If you haven't, make sure it gets posted today. What you need to do is have a main post. In that main post, you are replying to the 3 questions that I asked. 2 of those questions have a short YouTube video attached to them, and the third one is more or less just as a hypothetical example attached to it. All 3 of those are covering parts of memory. One is covering the first few slides from the PowerPoint with sensory short-term and long-term memory and attention encoding and retrieval. The second one is covering something that's directly in the PowerPoint of context-dependent memories. It is something that you can just Google, or I posted one of the extra videos that goes into context-dependent memory. One of the crash course videos does that. And the third video is about retrograde amnesia. So all that's also in the PowerPoint. You're making a post 250 words in total, so that's about a 1-page double-spaced response in total, not for each one of those 3 questions. In total for all 3, so maybe you do 100 words for 2 of them and 50 words for the other, or 80 words for each one, kind of something like that. Assuming that's already in for you, then the only thing you have to do is reply to 2 of your classmates' posts by Friday end of day. That can be done today. That could be done tomorrow. Theoretically, that could have even been done yesterday. That's it for this week. In the folder for memory, make sure you're watching my video lecture, you're looking at the PowerPoint, reading the chapter. The extra help videos I highly recommend, but they're not required. Make sure you're completing the assignment. Exam 2 grades, I have up for almost everyone. I have either somewhere, it's less than 12 that I have left to grade. So the few of you that don't have a grade up will have it this afternoon. I've been grading them in sets of 10, and I have the last 10 plus 1 or 2 to grade. So thereabouts of a dozen. I will get those up this afternoon, but almost everyone that would be here already has a grade up for the exam. If you have any questions about anything, exam-wise, let me know. We could talk about those here or through email, whatever's easier for you. Next week, I was mentioning it, Carmen had mentioned it, I was mentioning it briefly. Next week, we have our group discussions on social and memory. If you're in the Monday class, you have social, memory, and development still to present. The way that those work, I'll talk about for 90 seconds really quick. If you have any specific questions, we'll go over them. And I'm sure next week's streams will both be focused on them. If you are in one of the groups that need to present, whether you're in memory or whether you're in social, or if you're in the Monday class, if you're in development, you have a due date on Monday of something. If you're in one of those groups on Monday, you have to email me either a completed PowerPoint or a 2 to 3 page paper off of what was in your article. That's your formal presentation part now. You also have to email me discussion questions. I need 1 per person in your group. How you get the discussion questions to me, as long as I get them, doesn't matter to me. You can put them in the PowerPoint. Just tell me in the email that they're in the PowerPoint so I go in. You can put them in the body of the email, and that's the easiest way to do it. You just have 1 person send me all, let's say 5 people's discussion questions, and just make sure their name is next to it. Or you could have each individual group member email me with their question, or you could post the question yourselves to the discussion board. But that's probably the least likely way that you'll do it. Unless you're comfortable doing that, then go for it. But if you're not comfortable, let me do it for you. That way there's no mix-ups. That's all due by end of day on Monday, and that won't be accepted late. So it has to be in by Monday end of day, because I need these questions available for the rest of the class. The rest of the class goes in sometime between Tuesday and Friday, and they will reply to 2 of your discussion questions in each group. So if you were in the neuro group, you're going to reply to 2 of the social questions and to 2 of the memory questions. So that means that you will have to go in and post more replies than you did this week, but you don't have to do a main post if you're not in one of the groups. If you're in the Monday class, then you'll do 2 in social, 2 in memory, 2 in development. Again, more total posts, not a main post, so it should end up probably less work actually, maybe about the same amount of work than this week would have been for you. If you're in the memory group, for example, then you have that due date on Monday. You then have 2 responsibilities that you have to do from Tuesday to Friday. Responsibility 1 is you still have to reply to 2 classmates in the other group. So if you're in memory, in social, and if you're on the Monday class, then in social and in development, you have to reply to 2 classmates' posts in each one of those forums still. Responsibility 2 is you have to maintain your one specific discussion question. Maintaining that discussion question means that everyone that is answering your discussion question should get a reply from you back. That reply from you back should be linking their response to other replies back that you got, linking it back to something from the PowerPoint or in the article, talking about where the one person agrees with someone else or agrees with you, or where they disagree. So you should be adding something. You're not just saying thank you, or you're not just saying that's a great point. Adding something on top of that. Those should be done Tuesday to Friday. So if you're in one of the groups, just make sure you're checking in a few times. Now, there is one thing you can do to help out your group members here that's not required, but I'm going to mention it, and then I'm done with talking about this assignment unless you guys have questions. And I see there's a few that I have to read. I haven't gotten to those. The last thing I want to mention with this assignment is because of the way that this is, you're going to have 5 total discussion questions for memory. Let's say your specific one wasn't that popular. Maybe you had 3 or 4 replies from your classmates, and another person in your group had 10. What you can do is help them answer their questions. It's not required, but if you have a less popular discussion question, you could be a good team member and help them out if they had a more popular discussion question. I'm sure they will appreciate it. I will still count that as the reply back. And you use your own judgment. If these end up all evenly distributed in every single, let's say every single one of the 5 discussion questions have like 8 replies back to them, then there's going to be no reason to do that. But if you have 3 and someone else had 15, help them out. I'm sure they would appreciate that because otherwise that's a lot more work that they would have to do. And then if you have any questions, we will talk about it. But let me get to the questions that I saw just came in. Michelle, I mentioned that a couple minutes ago. Grades for exam 2 are up for all but 12 people. If you happen to be one of those 12 people, it will be up in the afternoon. I can confirm for you if you're one of those 12 people. Just if you should send me an email. I don't want to do that over this public forum. So send me a really quick email and I'll confirm for you before you as I click end this before I leave for lunch. I'll reply to you and just let you know if you're one of the 12. I'm almost done is the point. 90% of you guys have a grade up, that means by now. Carmen, you were answering the question, yep. I can't post an answer key for the full exam because it compromises the integrity of those questions moving forward for my test bank, Michael. So what you can do is if you still have access to the exam booklet, take a look at where you have questions and you can email me about specific questions. I can't post a document of an answer key where you could just download the answer key. Then I would never be able to use any question that's in that test bank ever again. So I can go through any specific questions. We can go over things, schedule an appointment over the phone or talk about specific questions via email or a one-on-one Zoom. Or if you have questions, definitely a good time to potentially talk about them is in these live streams because other people might have questions about that same exam question. But what I can't do is just post the exam answer key. That would compromise the integrity of those questions. It doesn't mean that we can't talk about those questions. I just can't post a document like that, if that makes sense. Actually, especially it's true for exam 2 because my test bank for exam 2 is the smallest of all of my test banks. That's why this one was only 45 questions and not 50 questions. While I have a moment without any questions asked, I can also really quickly mention to you all later on tomorrow, most likely, but later on today and tomorrow, I'm going to be uploading some content that I've left to upload. So those two modules that are missing will be full by end of day tomorrow. And those modules are personality and psychological disorders. I should also be filming the beginning of next week a couple of videos talking about the odds and ends that I might still need to talk about with you. So one in particular is I'm going to post a video going over exactly what goes in the paper and on the poster for step 3 and step 4. Anything else assignment wise? I think I'm going to post. I know I have the video lectures already recorded. I think I might record a. I thought of a really good example that I think I might just record the example for, so that way it's only like a 5-minute video. For something for personality, you'll have the lecture for personality. You'll have the video lecture for abnormal. Tons of extra videos for abnormal are going to go up. Yeah, I can't really think of much anything else. I think that's all for videos I need to record for this class. But if you guys have any other questions about things, and I realize, all right, a video is going to be more practical, I'll always upload those as well. But I will be filming the last couple of videos for those things probably tomorrow, maybe into Monday. And then I'll post like for the video for the paper. I'll post that for you guys towards the beginning of next week. So my point is by tomorrow you should have all content for the rest of the semester available to you, other than an extra help video that I might need to still add to things. Everything else, assignments, the checklist for each week, all that should be available for the rest of the semester by tomorrow. And I think by pretty early tomorrow. I'm a couple of exams behind, but I'm a little bit ahead with some other things that I needed to do this week. So I think by early tomorrow, I should get that up. It's fun working in the same room, working from home as your spouse. Just watching her reactions are very fun to me. As my eyes glance over there, she's throwing her hands in the air. And you trying to sing "Hey Yo." How about you guys? Do you have any questions or anything? Anything else come up? Um, next week, I'm sure the live streams are going to be a lot busier than this week, because I'll have a couple of other things of content up, and we'll have the group discussion board. I would imagine is going to have some questions especially for those in the groups. The last couple of exam grades I'll post before my next live stream. So I'm going to actually put in the live stream in the text box if you want to talk about exams in that live stream. But I want to get the last couple that I have to upload before I do that. this month. That's crazy. It looks like I just have one other person here, so I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have. Otherwise, I'm not going to really add in. There's nothing I need to add, so I'm just going to be quiet for a little bit unless you have any questions, and I'll probably end the stream so I can finish up grading those last few exams a little early, and I'll have the other stream that starts at 1:30. Hello to whoever just popped in. So, like I've been saying, if you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, I already talked about everything I needed to chat about. We could talk about anything specific. Otherwise, stop back at 1:30. I'll chat a little bit more about exam 2 then, because I'll have the last few graded. I had the worst night's sleep last night. My screen protector came. Okay. I didn't put the other one on. Okay, but we're going to do that. Your father, John, I think, was in the live stream. He's stalking me. And the worst part, he's joining up my office hours and not like watch my content of me teaching. I'm just answering questions of these. He just texted me that I need a shave, and I definitely do. Oh, yeah, I definitely do. All right, I think I can end the stream for right now. I got a couple of exams to grade.